Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL 100 Game of the Week on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. Well, after 3 years as the home of the Chargers, it is most likely the final regular season home game at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Oakland Raiders and our home team. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
They start the drive with a give to Allen. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 135 yards. Big game.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. They'll run on first down. Allen pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now a look at the Chargers starting 11 on defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
They may be ranked 3rd against the pass in the league, but they're the best that I've seen so far. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the full story.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Christensen. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 38-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd and 6. He'll run it. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. How about that? Their quarterback, 34 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. The point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here come the Chargers as they get set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's James. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was in the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Chandler. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23.
I think by now it's been demonstrated quite well in the NFL that mobility is an attribute, but when you couple it with accuracy, you've really got something going. It will get outside the pocket and complete the pass.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Deep grip.
They'll drop to throw, escaping the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. He'll drop to throw. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. from 6 yards away as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. Caught by Allen. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And here's a throw off the scramble, and that's complete out left.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
Flush to his right. He's got his man. It's Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Allen. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw here. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run. This is Allen. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They run it with James. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. From 10 yards out, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Let's go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They're going to look to throw. Being chased out left. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. From 8 yards out as his guys are able to regain the lead. And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half. Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
A very solid gain of 27.
On the set.
Let's get it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flush to his right. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for L.A. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Fielded about a yard deep. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. No gain on the play there. Second down. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get this one complete to Winslow. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. James. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the ground, it's James. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete to Anderson. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that gives them a 3-point lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Steps away to his left. It's Williams on the catch. 23 yards the pickup there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Allen, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want big.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have retaken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquish that lead back, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Chandler again the target, but now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Flushed out right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. They'll run on 1st down. James. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Dancing to his left. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Let's go, baby.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. They stay on the ground with Allen. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers 39.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. Well, this is caught by Williams. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Buying time to his left. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So the Chargers now down by 7. At time, a huge factor. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. And he's got a man here, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Escaping the pressure right. And he rifles one incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
He's going to let it fly. And this will be caught. It's Johnson for the Charger touchdown. In for the score, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Here's a 2nd and 7. Forced out to his left. He'll try and run it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. They go play action here on first down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Now back to throw. Flushed out right. Throws right side, and that's complete. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. This from 52, and this for the win. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair. Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot. So for the Raiders, their hopes of a 5